Very cool. Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. In this episode, we are going to try the Russian river bus, I like to call it.
Yes.
It's basically a bus, except maybe it's a whole lot nicer. I'm here with a young lady.
Hello, everyone.
Who is she?
Who am I? You'll just have to watch the video to find out. But my channel is called Sasha Meets Russia, and I'm very excited to join Expat American today to discover this new futuristic ride.
How is that? The best guest intro I've ever heard.
Oh, wow. That is a compliment coming from you. Thank you very much. Let's go and see it.
Josiah, иди сюда. Thank you, sir. Ready.
This is nice.
This is Lucy.
The future.
That's right. I didn't know you'd been alive so long.
Have you ever seen something like this? Welcome to Russia. Really the future we're living in now. I am half Russian, half American. My dad is American, my mom is Russian.
Oh, here?
Like a cat. In a very different type of way. Oh my goodness, we're already moving. All right, I think it's time to board.
Boom! Oh! Kristoff, what have you done?
I did a castle.
Wow. Very interesting. Don't trigger the Western audiences. Oh, go. Пока-пока. Josiah, are you ready?
What are we doing again?
Another wonderful day of filming. And today we're going to meet a new young YouTuber, a female, and we are going to check out the new this year, Moscow metro, I guess you could say, public transportation system buses that are electric that cross the river. What do you think?
Do I have to go on the river?
Well, as a cameraman, you have to do whatever you have to do to get the shot. So we'll see how it goes. Hello, hello. Nice to meet you too. Sorry I'm late.
На морской транспорт. Я вообще не знаю, как и куда. Да.
All right, Sasha, where have you taken us?
I have taken you on the first electric modern water transport. That is a mouthful, but this is actually part of the metro system here in Moscow, and it's the first in the entire world. It's going to take you across the Moscow River, and it's a faster way to reach your destination in the city without having to go to different stops, different metro. You can basically just go on the river.
Very cool. And I can just use my Metro card.
You can use your Metro card, or you can use like your debit card, anything. Yeah.
So I might take the Metro for part of my journey, then I might walk over here and take the boat.
Yeah, exactly.
On my way to work,
or you
perhaps.
might just skip the Metro altogether, and if you live nearby, you can just take this. It's the fastest option right now in terms of the metro transport. It's actually my first time also doing this, so I'm very excited. I never saw anything like this before, not in Europe, not in the US, and I really feel like Moscow is definitely the city of the future at this point. If you do the full route, it's like 2 hours. So you can really just, if you have a lot of time, enjoy the river, see all the stops.
So it's a bus on the water, but it's cool.
Yes, it's a futuristic bus on the water, metro on the water.
Fantastic.
Electric water transport.
My cameraman can't wait to be on the water for this thing.
Yes.
So they have bathrooms here while you wait. This is an air-conditioned, heated lobby. And they gave us a little map thing, it looks like.
Yeah.
Is that right, Sasha?
Yeah, it has a map and it also
Oh,
has...
what's that?
Oh my... We can
We
go
can go
outside. What a view, and I think I actually see our water transport approaching us now.
It's very cool. I mean, it looks like a shuttlecraft, like I'd see in Star Trek.
Exactly, that's my feeling right now. I feel like I'm in Star Trek or Star Wars or something.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's just like this pod just floating on top of the water. So our shuttle's coming in now, our futuristic shuttle.
Yes.
And I don't know if the camera can get it or not, Josiah, but you can see Moscow City is literally right here.
I love Moscow City.
So you could be a businessman and drink your Stars Rubles and jump on the shuttle and go home, or go enjoy some nightlife after work.
Yeah, take a wonderful tour of the city.
Nice door, like on Star Trek.
So we actually got pretty lucky. We have an amazing view here, I think. In the summer, I tried to get on one of these, but there were so many people and it was just impossible. Like, you would have to wait hours. So we're really lucky today because there's basically no one.
Not only is it futuristic, it's very nice. Like it's romantic.
Yeah, you could even bring some, I don't know, like some coffee.
Yeah. You got the nice lighting here. You got holes for your cups, and just look at the design, guys.
Yeah,
look at the
really
skylight.
Modern, super modern.
And I mean, I've said before, it's like it not only is Russia just normal, but it's so nice in some ways that it doesn't even have to be.
Exactly.
I mean, this could be a literal bus on the water. I mean, it is a bus on the water, but it's like first class.
Exactly.
And yet we just used our regular Metro card to get in here.
Yeah, it's something that you think like would only be maybe like for the super rich, you know, or just. But this is for everyone. Yeah. Ordinary people just using your Metro card to get onto something like this.
So Josiah, how you doing?
Fine.
You're on a boat.
For now.
For now?
Yeah.
What's your issue with boats again?
I don't like them.
Why?
I saw Titanic.
Really?
And Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
I barely remember that movie.
Yeah, well, I remember it really well. It was the hands reaching, trying to get out of the sinking boat. No, I'm not going to sit down either. If I sit down, that's a second wasted of me getting out that door.
I think you should relax. I have a beautiful seat right here next to a half Russian lady for you.
I'd pick survival.
Did they give us this because we're special, or do they give this to everybody?
I like to think it's because we're special.
Just like in America, Russia will give you tacky little gifts for certain things. This is a plastic keychain that says Moscow on it.
It makes the journey more memorable, so you can forever remember this little voyage we have. Moskva navigation keychain.
So Sasha, who are you?
I am a person. Who am I? I've been trying to figure that out for 25 years.
Yes, I know, it's a deep question.
Yeah, it is super deep. I've basically lived in all over the world, so I would say that I am a very international person with a global outlook, and someone who is really open to other cultures and is really interested in languages and other people, and that's also why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Partly also you inspired me because it's really interesting to see and get to know others and hear their stories, especially in a country that not many people know about.
Yeah, a lot of people in the West don't know about Russia, and it's my hope that they'll watch channels like mine and perhaps yours and say, wow, why are we in a Cold War with these people?
Exactly. I think it's bringing a human element to Russia because a lot of the things we see in the West in the media, it kind of dehumanizes Russia and people see it in this very kind of black and white way. Whereas when you show Russia through these videos, through these different places where you hear real stories, it really brings a human element, and people start to realize, oh wait, we have more in common than we have differences.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so that's kind of also my mission and some part of who I am, because I was born in Hong Kong and I lived there for 9 years, and I grew up in a very international environment. So it's always been about getting to know other people and other cultures, and just accepting others.
Right. Yeah, your English is perfect.
Well, I hope so.
For someone
I mean,
who's lived everywhere,
well,
I would peg you for being North America, somewhere in the Northeast.
Yeah. Well, so I lived in New Hampshire, and also I lived in Boston for a while. But my dad is from Texas, so he has a little bit of that southern twang.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And where in the U.S.? You said you were in Florida, right?
Florida, yeah. Tallahassee, the capital.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's all that it's famous for. It looks more like Georgia.
Okay.
So it's very close to the Georgia border,
Yeah.
so it's like in the woods.
Yeah.
It's got some universities, so it's a good mix of intellectuals and labor workers.
Oh wow! I've never actually been to Florida. But
Oh,
I want
really?
to. No,
Oh,
that's like
wow.
one state that I wanted to go to, and I actually have a friend that is from Florida, also here, from Miami actually. So maybe one day.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of states in the U.S., but I've never been to the northwest corner.
Oh, okay.
How does this country, Russia, compare to your country?
So my country, it's hard to pick one because, but I guess I lived in the U.S. the longest, so I can start with there. I think
Wait, so how long were you in the U.S.?
10 years.
Okay.
So I think one of the biggest differences actually is even public transport, because in the US everyone is basically driving everywhere, especially if you're in a smaller town. And I had my license when I was 16, so I was always driving. There's not much walking, and living in Russia, even in the smaller villages, there's still buses, still public transport, so there's way more options to get around, including something like this, which I'm sure no one has ever seen before.
Yep.
Yes.
So how many years have you lived in which countries?
So in Hong Kong, I lived for around 9 years, like 8.5, 9. Then in the US, 10 years.
Okay.
Then I did a gap year in St. Petersburg. Then I went to Belgium for 4 years,
Oh, wow.
almost 4 years, yes. And I studied there, I did my degree.
So this is, I don't know if that's in the shot, Josiah, but that's like a bridge mall.
Yeah.
Actually, you and I did that for the video, Is It Moscow or New York? That's what we walked through, right?
It does feel very like New York, especially near Moscow City.
Yeah, I think Moscow City is definitely inspired by New York City, but someone told me it's more inspired by London.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A Russian guy told me that.
I don't think so. Not as
No?
much.
He's
no.
wrong? Okay, I'll tell him at the
I
next
think
meeting.
it's- okay.
There's the White House, the Russian White House out the window. You doing all right there, Josiah?
I'm ready to run.
Are you pretending that you're somewhere else?
Yes. Oh, my bed.
It's definitely getting darker. It's definitely, we're headed into winter here in Moscow.
Winter is coming.
We're going underneath all these bridges, which is very romantic and nice.
So my life is so unpredictable. You know, I could never have planned what I'm doing now. So I don't like to plan too far ahead, but I definitely see my future here in Russia. I don't want to leave. I've never felt safer, more comfortable, or happier in any of the places that I lived. And I can compare it to Europe, I can compare it to Asia, I can compare it to the US. And I have to say that living in Russia, living in Moscow has by far been the best place for me. So I definitely see my future here, maybe one day my future family, because I definitely think that the traditional values of raising a family in Russia are a lot closer to what I see compared to what I see in the West.
Right.
So that's definitely, those are my plans. That's what I want to do. And I want to continue with my YouTube channel to keep spreading the message and to keep showing people that Russia is not what they see in the media, that there are real people here with real stories, amazing places, and something that everybody can enjoy and discover and maybe one day come see it for themselves.
I agree, and it's nice to get the perspective of a young person who's Russian who wants to be in Russia.
Yes.
It's nice to hear.
It's actually interesting because I came here last September when everyone was leaving because they were scared of the mobilization. And I came right as everyone was leaving. I crossed the border with Estonia with my 4 suitcases, moving to Moscow. Everyone thought I was insane, but I have to say I do not regret it. It was the best decision I've ever made, and I just find my life here so rewarding. I've met a lot of other expats, a lot of internationals, a lot of Russians, and it's just such a thriving place, Moscow. It really feels like I'm part of something new, it's the future. Whereas a lot of things that I saw in Europe and the US, it feels like we're almost going backwards in time. I feel like here we're moving forwards, and there's always something new and something interesting to experience.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, we came here 8 days before the special military operation.
Yes.
So, but I don't regret it.
No, I don't.
Hopefully I never will.
No. And I mean, my family also lives here already for 4 years. My dad, who's American, he also moved, so he's in St. Petersburg, as well as my brother and my mom, who's Russian. But they also love it. And my dad doesn't speak any Russian. For him, it's totally foreign. But he has been so accepted by the Russian people, he even without knowing the language. And he said that, I mean, he's a world traveler as well. He lived in China for 20 years.
Wow.
And he said that in Russia, he is so welcomed. He never feels like, you know, an outcast. Like, the Russian people have really made him feel at home. And I have to say that I do feel the same, that I feel like now this is home, which before I never had a place that I could call, or that I felt like was my home, because in Hong Kong, I was, you know, I wasn't Chinese, obviously. In the US, I was considered Russian. So it's very difficult to find like your home, but I have to say that home is where the people that you love are. And right now, the people that I love, I can find here in Moscow.
Yeah, I wonder if Kristoff will feel this way as he gets older. And but yeah, it's like the new promised land being here.
Yes, it feels like.
Once you get past the Western media brainwashing that you're grown up with, I mean, it's just incredible.
Exactly.
Time to go?
We're here, we arrived.
Let's do it.
Let's go see. We have arrived in Kievskaya.
Kievskaya. Did I say it right?
Yes. So here we are in Kievskaya.
Here is the beautiful free map they gave us I wanted to show you guys. So it's in color and it shows the route you can take on this boat. But one thing I do notice is it is in Russian, not English. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of immigrating here. There are many English options in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, but not everywhere, and certainly not all over Russia. Now, I have come to the metro stop nearest to where we got off the boat, and this was a 6-minute walk according to my Yandex phone map app. Now, it could be a different distance at different boat stops, but just to give you an idea, if you're thinking of using this with the metro system. Also want to let you guys know, if you are a Russian subscriber, of which I have a lot of, and you've been wanting to support the show, but you're not sure how to do it because of sanctions, I just set up a Boosty account. The link is available for you. So if you want, you can make a donation there and support the show. If you don't know who I am, if you're joining this channel for the very first time, I'm an American who lives in Moscow, Russia with my Russian wife and 5 children. We do not like that there's a new Cold War, so we are doing this channel to try and show the world the truth of Russia, show the Western world, especially in English speakers. We cannot stop the Cold War on our own, but we can do our part. And that's what we're trying to do with this channel. And you cannot support this show on your own, but if you're able, you can do your little part. I like the dusting of snow on the dock. All right, guys, what'd you think of that little adventure? The Russian River Bus.
Yes.
Futuristic.
The future. Would you take it yourself?
Exactly. I loved it. I had a great time.
Me too. I would take it again for sure.
So click like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, click the share button right now, interrupt my speech, send this to your friends.
Yes.
But before you click the box to see what happens next, I am going to be on this young lady's channel right now.
See what we have in store for you, where I'm gonna take this expat American next. Stay tuned, come and watch. One of my friends is gonna join later to film my part, and he also studied film.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. What do you think, Josiah? Say something.
Something.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Good. Hey, come around here and get my hand.
And Pacific.
The Pacific?
Restart that.
Yeah.
It's okay, so we're in a little bit of I would say... Let me think about this.
You go first because you're smaller. But Lisa, what... Lisa.
I'm not...